Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kimble Show. I am so excited for this guest that I have today. I have the amazing hairstylist, incomparable Larry Sims, and also my homeboy from Chicago. Welcome, Larry Sims. Please tell me, how did you get started in the business?
Well, first of all, I have to say before I answer that question, I love you, Kimble. You are the blueprint. You are Queen Mother. You, there's none other like you. Nobody can touch it. You're a
Oh,
trailblazer, and we just all love you. We all love you and are so proud of you. You're always the first at everything, and you
what
are such an inspiration. And thank you so much for holding that space in all of our lives that are creatives that are in this hair industry and other people that aren't in the hair industry that just love and admire you and that you give inspiration to. So thank you for being who you are.
Thank you. And I'm so inspired and proud of what you guys are doing. I'm so, just it's just great time for hairstylists. But go
Yes,
ahead. That's
absolutely.
about me. About
All
me.
right. So I started off as a dancer many years ago in the industry. And to make a long story short, growing up in Chicago, you have to sit in the salons on Saturdays for hours. And I used to have to, my mom and my sister were those girls that would go every week. And they used to drag me in those salons. And I remember thinking to myself, these hairstylists are magicians. I would see women coming in looking one way, and hours later, they would turn around in that chair. They would have a pep in their step. They would be so excited about how they look. And so I found joy in that. I thought hairstylists were magicians, still do. And cut to my dance career sort of like took its own way. And so I ran with that right after high school. And I danced until I was probably in my early 30s. But like while I was dancing, people knew that I knew how to style hair. I used to style a dancer's hair. And, like for example, I used to dance for Missy, and Missy gave me my first cover when her hairstylist couldn't come to Jamaica with us. Now, mind you, she had on a baseball cap on the cover. I just braided her on the side of her hair. But, she gave me my first. I was like, wow, this is what
Right.
this feels like. And, my friend Christopher Maldonado, who isn't with us anymore, great hairstylist. We used to tour together when I was dancing, and he used to like do makeup artists for different videos and stuff I would be in. He inspired me. He was like, Larry, you can't dance forever. You need to figure out what your next move is. And I think it needs to be hair. And he said that he was gonna like let me stay with him. I was like, Chris, how am I gonna pay my rent? I still gotta dance. And he was like, you come live with me, you go to cosmetology school, you don't have to worry about any rent. And unfortunately, he passed away with a year before I could get the opportunity to do that with him. And then I moved to Chicago, went to Pivot Point, stayed with my mama for a year at 27, and came back to LA and started assisting people. Ended up dancing for Jessica Simpson because I had to like make some money while I was trying to transition into hair. And I had some images of some of my girlfriends that I took in Chicago. I was like, this is my book. And no celebrities in there. And somebody saw Jessica Pastor, the wardrobe stylist, saw it in the dressing room. She was like, you need to meet my friend Ken Pavis, who was Jessica Simpson's hairstylist at the time. And she's like, he's opening up a salon. You need to work with him. She introduced me to him, and I started assisting Ken. And probably a year and some change later, he wasn't available to go and do Victoria Beckham because he was off doing Jennifer Lopez. He sent me, and she loved what I did. And we did a 2-year run back on the Bob, and all of that happened. And then that's when it all started.
Wow. I think I've seen you in a few movies and stuff.
Probably so. I was in
That's like you dancing.
Dreamgirls, Stomp the Yard,
Yeah.
all kind of stuff.
Okay.
The most memorable project that I previously worked on. Which one you think it is?
I mean, for me, it would be Essence Festival. Hello.
With Janet!
I have to say, I'm like the hugest. First of all, Janet, I'm such a huge Janet Jackson fan, and she was my hair icon. All the hair she
Yes.
listen, I don't, I'm very picky when it comes to hair. All the hair she's ever done in the past is the hair I wanted. And I didn't want
Yes.
nobody else's hair in the business but hers. I wanted that
Yes.
situation, that curly situation with the blonde streaks, everything. So let me just tell me a little bit about, is that one of your most memorables or
You know, Janet is, it blows my mind because I'm a fan, like literally am a
yeah,
fan, and I'm like you. Everything, like I would wait on Janet projects to see what type of hair she had before I was even doing hair. I'm like, she is such
right.
an icon and such a trendsetter, and her team. It was always unclockable. It's like, what does she have in her head? Like,
We were all trying to figure it out.
and like for me to get that phone call. So first of all, I met Janet back when I was dancing, and we just have been cool and have been in touch with each other like throughout the years. And I got the phone call right when she was getting ready to like start promoting the documentary, and they were rebuilding. Sort of like she's one of those, and you know how like Beyonce everybody is like, if you with them, you with them. Married to you with them for years. You have some of the longest relationships that in this business with your clients. They swear
Yeah,
by you. You know, through
yeah,
like through the decades. And
yes,
Janet is one of those people. It's hard to get in, like you, because she is so loyal and so private about, you
right,
know,
right, right.
her circle. And her, one of my friends, Joey Harris, he works on her team. I'm good friends with her choreographer Gil. I'm good friends with Preston, her makeup artist, and they wanted some new energy, and I guess I was the next in line, and she's like, you know, call Larry, let's see if he's available, and we just been rocking ever since. And so like Janet, I've worked with a lot of great people, but Janet is like icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, I have to say that's why I said I could probably guess with the most memory. Although you've worked with some amazing people, and but it's just for me growing up, she was a huge icon, especially for hair. And
Yeah,
what an amazing, what a blessing,
yes.
for you. And listen, you the man, so why not?
Wow, I appreciate it.
Um, so do you have anything new that Larry Sims that you want to talk about that you're working on? Any new things? Because this is about inspiring people and
You know, I have this line with Gab. You know, Gab is our client, and you know, a good friend, and we launched Flawless in a partnership during the pandemic, a year before the pandemic even hit. I was in a deal with Schwarzkopf. I was like the spokesperson for Smooth and Shine, it got to be,
hmm hmm
and I had done that for 10 years, and I knew at some point it was going to end. But to have a 10-year run with them is great. But cut to, Gab was like, yo, I want to relaunch Flawless, but I don't want to do it without you. So she actually bought me out of my deal with them. Like the offer that they gave me to re-up. I know it's crazy. And we sat like, and we were
uh,
just developing and developing, and it finally came to fruition 3 years later. We're in the same stores, and it's just been really exciting, and that's been definitely a dream come true for me to be able to at least have that partnership with her, and to be able to give people products that are really affordable, and so that's been real cool.
yeah. Oh, that's great. Congratulations on that. That's cool. Listen, it's a blessing to say that we're all blessed. Listen, I say everybody try all our products. Try Kimble products. Try Larry Sims and Flawless and Gabrielle Union products. Just have them all there. Support us
All
all,
of them.
right?
Taraji, Tracee, everybody.
Yeah,
Whoever,
exactly. All everybody. Because listen,
everybody.
because you
Yeah,
change your hair a
exactly.
lot. So listen, you need products. So come on.
Right, right. You need products. Exactly. And
Right.
I'm proud of all of us being black owners
Yeah.
to be able to
Black
be on
owned
this
business.
ship.
That's
Yeah, because
so
it's not
so.
easy.
Yeah. This is a conversation here that we both could have about people don't really see the behind the scenes. They see the glamour, the glitz, but it's work, it's dedication, it's long hours, it's like trying to find the right assistants to work with you, the team. I mean, it's so many things. Just give us a little bit of your take on that.
Yeah, it is. It's so incredibly hard. Somebody just asked me to do work with them tomorrow, and it's interesting because they want 5 hours of glam before they have to be out the door, and it's like people don't equate that into the occasion. I'm like, who needs 5 hours of glam? But at the same time, it's like the bigger the star, the more the more they ask of you, and you have to be dedicated. You have to be on point.
Mm-hmm.
You work with Zendaya. I've worked with Zendaya. That Zendaya team over there, y'all don't play, and there are no there's no room for a misstep over there.
No.
And sometimes things go great, and sometimes things have to get remixed in the last minute.
Right.
You have to just be prepared for that. You have to be prepared for every single thing. And that's one thing that I know about you. Yeah, you show up with your arsenal. We've been on shoots together, and when I tell you, Kimble brings out racks. There's nothing that you're gonna think you're gonna want that Kimble don't have. So,
what's crazy is you can have all of that, they still ask for something that you ain't got. It's like, that's the thing. You have to be over prepared. That's the one thing I've learned. And I will. It's a lot to carry. It's a lot to deal with, but I hate not having something that I need.
Yes. And you always have the best.
Bags you've been missing on planes, and oh my God, it's the worst feeling in the world to go out and buy everything all over again, So it's so much behind the scenes, but what a blessed opportunity that we have, to work with these people. I've worked with some amazing people too, and it's just a blessing to even know and work with these people. But people don't realize the sisters, they have these big doughy eyes, like, oh, but it's really hard work. It's dedication. Listen, and then sometimes we don't, like, I miss parties and I miss hanging out with my friends because I'm booked and I'm flying or I'm prepping for a job. And, we do have to find that time. And I hope, I know you find that time to, honey, live. Because I see you on vacations and standing, naked by the window, honey, at the resort.
I will find myself a good time. It's all about balance.
Listen, I'm not mad. I am not mad, and I think you should absolutely do it. But listen, before we get into questions, you want to ask me some questions, I'm open. But I want to know, do you have any inspirational words or recommendations for inspiring stylists? Because listen, everybody wants to be a celebrity hairstylist. So
what's interesting is that, like, for me, I feel like I'm the last of the Mohicans in terms of like that generation, Gen X. We didn't have social media. Maybe
right.
We had MySpace, Facebook, maybe, but we didn't have IG. We didn't have TikTok. So we didn't have platforms to really showcase our work like that. And I know that I carry bags, I washed brushes, I shampooed, I did whatever I needed to do to be a sponge. And this was after I had been exposed to the business. I had traveled around the world 10 times over, had been on tours, and me and Missy lived together for a couple years. Like, so I was no like spring chicken to the industry, but I humbled myself and I worked my ass off at the bottom. I didn't want anything handed to me. And I feel like everything that I got, I earned. So the thing about it is, it's like, there are no shortcuts. You gotta do the work in order to have longevity, in my opinion. And that's my advice. And also, another thing I would say is play clean, don't play dirty. Be loyal, play clean. Don't stab people behind their backs. Being a good person goes a long, long, long way. Having integrity goes a long way.
Yes, and that you're absolutely right. You gave some great, great nuggets, and you're so right. And I'm so glad that I've always been that person. I'm upfront, upstanding person. I could go to sleep at night. I don't have to feel like, no kind of way.
You, Emmy nominee for
Yes.
Euphoria. Like, do you know that all of our
Um,
mouths gagged and were open this whole last season since the show began? But there's something really different, and I could tell you were there. You know, just your touch and how elevated not only Zendaya was, but the rest of the characters. Like it just felt like a Kimble um, elevated, like you blessed them. Like, how do you feel?
Listen, first of all, interesting enough, I started watching Euphoria because the first season, because Zendaya was on it. You know, we worked with Zendaya, so I want to see what's Zendaya doing, you know? And
Right.
became such a fan of the show and the director. And I was like, oh God. So when the opportunity came, I was so excited to have that opportunity. And working with Sam Levinson, he's an amazing writer, producer, director. I think he's talented, and we vibed from the first interview. And I knew, oh, this is somebody I can work with. You know what I mean? I just felt like we got each other when it came to his. I loved his input of what he wanted to do, and he loved my input, and I think it was so great because we had to also do stuff that was previously because it was kind of molding from last season, and then there were some things we got to change and elevate. And Zendaya's hair is so easy on there because she's a drug addict running around. It's hard to make hair not look perfect.
Right.
Right? And she's got that perfect, unperfect hair. Sometimes she roll out of bed and I'm like, done. Let's go.
Right.
And like getting to cut, hair, cut Jules' hair, who plays Hunter. She plays Jules, but her name is Hunter.
Right.
That's cool because we started bringing a little of the '90s into the look of the show, and we got to do some throwbacks to the '90s. So it was just overall fun for me. I thrive on busy projects. That's a lot of work and interesting, but to be nominated for an Emmy for such an amazing big show like that, and to be department head of a show like that, me, a Black woman, department heading a show like that was just a blessing, and I was just so grateful for that opportunity. You know what I mean? Because listen, it's always good to elevate and to do different things.
Yes, absolutely. I hope that you are going to get dressed up. I hope that you're going to get ready to go and accept your award. I'm just saying, because you deserve it. You and your team that you put together, y'all absolutely smashed it. So congratulations.
Thank you. And if you weren't going to be so booked and busy for the Emmys, I might get Larry, a Sim style, honey.
Listen, I know that's right. I got you.
Because I know they're going to be lined up for Larry on Emmys. But
another thing I have to say, this is like me giving Kim her praises. So like for like LA Finest, right? You broke so many barriers for so many people to have elevated careers in that show. I don't know if it needs to be a Kim Kimble Academy or what, but like you understand that you have really helped so many people out in their careers and their visibility in a very huge way.
For me, I've always been like a giving person, and I feel that I love to see people around me do well. And so it's so great to have been a part to help a lot of people build their careers, build their resumes.
I'm gonna say what I want. I want TV. I want school.
Okay.
I want another book.
Okay.
I want all of it. I want everything Kim Kimble.
Okay. I'm gonna try to give it to you. I sure am. Right. I'm gonna try to give it.
The question is there anybody that would excite you to work with anymore? Because like you have had such an amazing career, you've been such a trendsetter. And I was saying that like the Mary hairstyles, like girls would see those Mary hairdos and be like, I want that same hairdo that Kim did on Mary. Like, and I said earlier, I'm like, I gotta say this, like Kim, I've worked with Mary throughout the year, and like Mary does not deviate. She's like, don't do nothing that Kim didn't do. Don't curl this mushroom no other way. Don't curl this pompadour no other way. Don't go to the left. Don't go to the right. Do exactly what Kim did.
Well, it's so funny because Mary she kind of likes to keep the same hair through her whole project. That was kind of sort of the thing that she liked to do. But I don't know. It's like I wanted to do Prince. He's
Mm.
gone. Um, God, I don't know who would that be now. I guess I
Maybe
got to
Jack.
work. Listen, I would probably fall out and pass out if I get to work with Janet Jackson. Because there's Prince
Look,
and there's Michael and they're gone. So, out of all the icons when we growing up, yes, it would be her, Madonna, but Janet Jackson to me is the queen. And she's got great hair, you know?
she
So, yeah,
does.
what Janet would be probably, I don't know. It'd be so great because she was a hair icon for me. So, definitely
Well,
her because I got to work with Oprah. Listen, Zendaya, I think Zendaya is amazing, in terms of her talent too. And I got to work with her, like you got to work with her. So she is that new icon, that we've got to work with. But yeah, one thing I will say, attitude is so important. Yes, talent is important, because I would say, yeah, I've been in longevity probably because I keep a good attitude. You know what I mean? With people, for the most
yes.
part, there's been times I could have went off, and there's times I have gone off when you push me too far. But I will say I try my best to keep that maintain that professional and that right, attitude. And I think that for young people that's coming in the business, it's so important for you to just have that good attitude, that good energy, because people can feel that. I want to give people their flowers. I love what you do, especially with texture, how you really play well on texture. Because that at one
Yeah.
point that was not, everybody wanted straight, silky hair and to look, European or whatever. And listen, I'm not mad at it because some days I want to be bone straight, Asian, whatever I want to be. But I love that texture is really becoming big, especially now since we're making natural hair products and hair products for women of color, but really
Mhm.
showing that that you can look good with your own texture. And I think that's been great. You have been great in displaying that with your clients because
Thank you.
they inspire people, and that's great for the community.
Yeah, yeah, and that
I,
wasn't even intentional. I appreciate it. I think for me, it probably started with when I started working with Lapita. I saw the shift at that moment, like
yeah,
when it happened with 12 Years a Slave, and we were doing all these really cool shapes
right.
and whatnot, and it just and then people like one person after another wanted to come in and like embrace their textures in that way, and so people started calling me for that, which is really cool because, like you
Yeah.
said, we grew up. We grew up. There's nothing wrong with straight, like you said, and all of it. But for girls who you know feel like they don't know what to do with that 4C, we were able to. We all have been able to like inspire them and give them styles that
Yeah.
we see sometimes in the
Right.
hood. So we love it. I love it.
I love. Listen, I'm so excited about technology right now. Sometimes it stresses me out, but at the other times, I love that I can look at my stuff on YouTube and put it on my television. I'm like, wow, I can
Yeah.
watch it on the screen. This is so cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was just watching YouTube last night in bed, and like this chick like did something, this hair tutorial, and she flipped the
Mhm.
headband wig around backwards, and she
Oh, baby.
created this. I was like, oh, I
These
never
kids
would
are
have thought of
killing it
that.
on YouTube, right? They're killing it.
Yes,
It's quite entertaining. Listen, I give the YouTube people their props too. I said, listen, they really also help, shepherd this whole natural hair movement because they were trying to figure out what to do with their hair, and I like us as professionals also being able to share what to do with natural hair. I think that it is great that they have definitely opened up that door wide open.
yes.
With YouTube. YouTube is listen. I taught my son how to tie his tie because he said, "Mama, how do I do a tie?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Uh,
You just Google it real
Go
quick.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
I love it. You got a grown man as a
Oh
son.
my God, he's so grown. I looked
Yes.
at him, believe it. I said, "Wow, he's no longer the baby. He's just a grown man," and I'm just blessed. What an amazing young guy too. I'm so proud of him.
That's awesome. He's a
What a
lucky guy
kid.
to have Kim Kimble as his mama.
Yes, yes. I feel just as blessed to have him as a son. To put up with me and all my shenanigans and my schedule. He's been, he's so good. He's like, mommy, that he's just a great kid, and well, not even a kid anymore. He's a man. I got to start referring to him as a man because he's very particular about that, you know. So, but
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
it's been great, Larry. It's great to talk to you, and you drop some great nuggets. And listen, you guys make sure you check out his information is in here.
Last thing I got to say to your viewers, I just directed my first music video. So with my girl Sparkle, you remember that song? Better be careful what you say to me. So she just dropped a song called
Yeah,
Sparkle. You know my name. My directorial debut hit a couple days ago. The video is on YouTube. Sparkle, you know my name. Check it out. We can add Larry Sims director to the title. So
listen,
yeah. So if
I'll be
anybody need a director, holla at your boy.
Shutters. You ever blame yourself for some shit you didn't do?